we finished the series on naming conventions by learning how to name acids. Now, we won't study acids until much later, but for now we need an operational definition of what an acid is. An acid is a compound that when put in solution generates protons or H plus ions. Okay, so the idea is that you're going to have here Ha, where A can be an anion, okay, and then this, when you put it in solution, is going to generate H plus and then A minus. Okay, again, that's the generation of those protons in solution is going to be the final element for an acid. Okay, we will see later on that the definition has to be much more nuanced, but for now, this is all that we need to start naming these compounds. Right, so there's various ways to name these compounds. The first class of acids that we name is that does not contain any oxygen. Okay, so it's simply going to be your H atom and then a non-metal that forms an ion. Okay, so for example, we have HF, HCl, and so forth, HBr, HI, and so forth. Okay, so the way to name this would be we actually use first hydro. Okay, that is the prefix that we use. To this we add the root name of the second element, root name, and then we add a suffix ic, and then acid. Alright, so how will we name this compound? Well, it will be hydro, then the root name of fluorine will be fluor. Okay, so that will be hydrofluoric acid. This will be hydrochloric acid, then you will have hydrobromic acid, and then you will have hydroiodic acid. Okay, let's name one more, which will be this one. Okay, notice that in this case you actually need a 2 and the H because the anion formed by sulfur is always 2 minus. Okay, so this is called, the root name will be sulfur. Okay, so this is called hydrosulfuric acid. Okay, right, so that is the name, the first class of compounds that we need to name here. The second class of acids that we need to name are going to be those that actually contain oxygen atoms in the anion. And we actually have studied a bunch of those already. Actually, the anions we have studied. For example, you will remember that we were talking about polyatomic ions, okay? We actually had this class of compounds, all right? The names were nitrite, nitrate, sulfide, sulfate, and so forth. Okay, I'm going to write here a few more. We're going to write here phosphate. We're also going to write here carbonate, and then we're going to write hypochlorite, and then chlorite, chlorate, and perchlorate. Okay. All right. So here, the way to name acids formed by these compounds, right? So we'll have here the acid here will be HNO2, HNO3, and so forth. H2SO3, H2SO4, H3PO4, and then H2CO3, and then this one is just with one H. Okay, so HClO, HClO2, HClO3, and HClO4 will be to take stock of the name of the anion and then make a replacement. Okay, if the anion finishes in -ose, okay, then the acid actually, if it's the other way around, if the ion finishes in -ite, then the acid finishes in -ose. Okay, and if the ion finishes in -ate, then the acid finishes in -ic. The rest is similar. Okay, so let's see how we would name these compounds. All right, so that is nitrite. Okay, so we're right here, which means that name will be nitrose. Okay, so this is what we call nitrous acid. Okay, Let's take a look at this one. That is nitrate. So we write here with the 8, and that means that that will be nitric acid. We change the 8 for ic, so it goes from nitrate to nitric acid. All right, sulfite, that will be sulfurous acid. Sulfate, that will be sulfuric acid. Phosphate is going to be phosphoric acid. Carbonate is going to be carbonic acid. And then these ones are very, very similar, right? So that will be hypochlorous. That means that this acid is going to be this is hypochlorite, so that is going to be hypochlorous acid. Again, let's repeat that. The name of this anion is hypochlorite, so that is going to be hypochlorous acid. This is chloride, so that is going to be chlorous acid. That is chlorate, so that is going to be chloric acid. And this is perchlorate, so that is going to be perchloric acid. Okay, again, there are some other names. We actually have that, for example, the bromine ions can also form these type of acids. Okay, so we will call that Hypo Bromide, which means that the acid is going to be HBrO. So that will be hypobromous acid. And then to finish this off, we can write BrO4 minus, okay, which is perbromate, and then the corresponding acid is going to be perbromic acid. Okay, so this finishes our explanation of how to name a variety of compounds. This is by no means all of the compounds that there exist, but these are the naming rules for the compounds that we're going to be more interested in the rest of this course.